Now on Salem News Channel, Adam Guillette. He's the president of Accuracy in Media. It's a website we really, really enjoy, aim.org. Adam, thanks for coming on. Happy Monday.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
All right, so let's talk about this. The university, Texas University officials, Texas University, they're actually using some methods that they're coming up with to circumvent state laws on DEI. Talk to us about what's going on here.
Yeah, so our organization has an incredible team of investigative journalists, and we've spent much of the last few years investigating K through 12 education, specifically states where critical race theory principles have been banned, like Texas. And what we found throughout the state of Texas was that these administrators, these highly paid superintendents and equity officers, were more than happy to lie to parents and break the law. So when Texas banned DEI in higher education, we thought we should go back and see, well, are they behaving like their K through 12 counterparts? No surprise, I should say a majority of the universities we went to, where we spoke with administrators, they once again bragged about how they break the law and deceive people in order to push the radical principles associated with diversity, equity, and inclusion.
All right, help me out here. I saw, sometimes when I'm having a guest on and we're covering a topic, I'll type in the title of the topic into the search engine to see what pops up. And, obviously the algorithm, it sways to the left. And so I saw the entire first page of the response on this desktop. I use Google. It said all of the responses were about how DEI has been banned in the state of Texas, how that will impact universities, and how students will be negatively impacted by that. So the media push to demonize these laws is in full effect, and the algorithm is assisting with that by not even showing anything having to do with the benefits of just admitting students based on their merit. So talk to me about the details here.
Yeah, well, the only surprising thing I would say in our investigation was that a number of universities clearly seemed to be complying with the law, and they were bitter about it. One administrator bemoaned that he essentially got a demotion when DEI was banned. But a half dozen universities like UT Tyler bragged to us about how they simply ignore the law. They're continuing to do the exact same work associated with DEI, but calling it something else. And this isn't just about, affirmative action or race-based admissions. DEI takes the entire world and reframes right and wrong as we know it. Instead of the traditional right and wrong, they break down the world into groups of oppressors and oppressed. And they think that we should view all moral questions essentially through that prism. And, it's incredibly relevant lately because they put Jews in the oppressor bracket somehow. I guess these people never cracked a history book. And as such, they defined the horrible terrorist acts of October 7th not as barbaric terrorism, murder, and rape, but as resistance to oppression. Yeah, if you show up to a music festival and kill and rape women, they view that as resistance to oppression. It's a leading cause of hate, of anti-Semitism, of racism on college campuses throughout the country. DEI, it has no place in K through 12 education and certainly no place in higher education. It's great that Texas banned it, but it's terrible that the law is being ignored.
So Adam, let's dig in a little further, because I know the devil's advocate. I've even seen it online, and I've seen it from some people that would traditionally, you and I would observe them to be pretty conservative or right of center. And they're saying that there is a purpose to DEI, that it's not all bad. And I'm quoting, I've literally read these ideas being expressed on X by people who are right of center, who are saying we need to figure out a way to take out the anti-Semitism, but leave the expansion of access for people of color within what DEI actually is. And so I've actually struggled a little bit when I'm looking at the people who are posting. I see what they're posting and I read it. I'm like, wow, this doesn't seem like what they normally, like their normal viewpoint isn't that they're for affirmative action, but they're somehow defending DEI here. And there's been the big discussion around how the perception of the people who are coming out of programs that have DEI in them may not be as qualified. So can you give us that perspective? Because if you're speaking to these college administrators, you must be getting some of that from them as well. They're saying DEI is helpful, it works. Why do they want to continue to use it?
Well, in a general sense, DEI comes from Marxism. These principles associated with critical race theory, they come from Marxism. Now, that's not to say that everybody who's a fan of DEI is a Marxist. It's Marxists and useful idiots who just go along with it with the Marxists. As I say, it breaks down the world into oppressors and oppressed. And I don't know what's more damaging, telling a young person that they're oppressor and that they're inherently evil and they need to, make up for the horrible things associated with their skin color, or if you tell them that they're oppressed and that the world's against them. What a horrible thing to tell to a child. What a horrible thing to tell to a college student. And remember, the E in DEI stands for equity, not equality. These people are against equality. These people are against the mission that Martin Luther King put forth of a colorblind society. In fact, if you read the writings, they say Martin Luther King's ideas are more dangerous than white supremacist ideas, which is just utterly disgusting and insane. Equality in a colorblind society are what we should strive towards. They push equity because equity means the government will step in and right the wrongs, and it essentially gives control and power to politicians to determine who gets to succeed and who doesn't in society. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we're going to have to. So I agree with everything that you said. And I have said as much myself in discussions surrounding DEI. I know its roots in Marxism. The issue we're having is that a lot of the people who are proponents of DEI have zero intersection with Marxism. They probably don't even know what it is. And the other part is they've been convinced that what they're doing is to help Black people and minorities. They are absolutely convinced of that. And we have to disabuse them of that thought that that's the way to help people. When you say telling people that they're oppressed or oppressors, one of the fastest ways to disconnect a child from being able to achieve anything is to tell them that they're a victim. And so and I know as a parent, one of the things you strive for with your children is to have them have a clear sense of their abilities, that their brain is a muscle, that their body is, you can change your body, you can improve it, you can make it stronger. These are concepts that if you teach your child those things, they have resilience, which is the bedrock of educational excellence. We're out of time here. Adam, we love your website, aim.org. We're so grateful for your time today. Thank you for joining me to talk about this important issue. We'll have you back. We'll talk some more again.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.